No, I'm sorry. I have service to work on, sales calls to make, emails to return. I am booked. I'm sorry. I can't possibly fit in. Hold on for 1 second. The package for me? Yes. My new Samsung Gear VR. Yeah. I think my whole day just opened up. The TheHitechNomad here, and yes, it just came in, and I'm going to do this in real time and get this up so you know what. Give it a 411 as quickly as possible. It is my Samsung Gear VR, or Gear VR for short, and this is actually my second one. It's the first one I've actually received, but it's the second one I've ordered, because earlier this week I ordered it only to find that it wasn't going to work with the Verizon version of the Note 4, and I was a little upset. In fact, I tweeted about that, saying that they take forever to do updates, and just to prove me wrong, they turned on an update for the Gear VR in less than 24 hours. So, and a lot of us were saying, I don't know what was so carrier specific about a VR headset where each carrier had to have their own piece. But in any event, let's give credit where credit is due. There was an update that needed to get turned out, and it did get turned out in like record timing. Okay, so here we are with our Gear VR, cold off the truck, because I'm here in Boston, where it is very cold, as opposed to the last couple of these that I made where I was in Barbados. I'm trying to do this, and that's why I like to do these in real time so you can see what I'm dealing with. But then I don't like to do them in real time because I don't want you to see what an idiot I am. This is the second packaging that I've had trouble opening. And we'll pull that right off. Okay, so here we are with our Gear VR. So we have our box, which I'm assuming our Gear VR is in there. Let's open it up. And there it is. There's our Gear VR. And our head straps. And straps. Chilly. Oh my goodness, it's chilly here. Little Velcroed piece. And this is our additional software. And this is a cleaning pad to clean the front. To clean the lenses. That's pretty high quality. So here we have, this is the piece that goes on in the front. And I actually wonder if that's an extra one, whether I'm going to have to put that on. Let's take a look and see. No, that's an extra one. There's just already one here. That's actually that's cool. I'm happy to see that they thought enough of me to give me an extra one. And this is actually, this Velcro's on. So I guess I could have one for me and one for guests. And I'm sure you'll be able to buy others. Okay, on my lenses we have the little pieces of plastic on there. And another little piece on there. So we have the head straps itself. I'm trying to do as much of this, as I said, in real time as possible. Okay, we have another little sticky. This is the touchpad. This is the full piece across the top. I guess, actually, the whole, you know what, I probably won't take off too many more of those, because obviously it's going to provide some protection. So I think I'm going to leave most of those on. I know that that's not going to hinder its performance, and it'll actually help to keep it clear, because this is one of those things that I'm going to be taking with me everywhere. Alright, then this part hooks in. Okay, and then this is another strap. So this is going to come around and go in here. And okay. Now, I happen to know, I've done a little bit of research, so I know as soon as I put this in, it's going to tell me to take it out because it needs to load some software. So I'm going to still keep the focus on the device itself. Okay, I'm back. I do have a second battery. I bought a second battery. Yeah, while we're waiting for this to load up. I've done a couple of different reviews on my Note 4, and I can't say enough about how quickly the battery charges with the fast charger. And between the fast charger I have in the house and the fast charger that I have in the car. I very rarely need to use my second battery. I only needed to use it today because I've been using my phone all day, and I neglected to put it onto the charger. But in general, pretty happy with its performance. Okay, so first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to put this in, and as I said, I'm fairly certain it's going to tell me to take it out. So I'll put that in here, pull that back, let that snap. Okay, and that's the noise that it makes when you plug it in. I know that much. And that's the side there. All right, I'm going to actually put that on. I'm pretty sure it's going to tell me to just take it right back off. Towards me for a second, if I could do so. Okay, so it says, so I'm going to adjust that. A little foggy in here. I probably need to wipe those off. It says, welcome to your Samsung Gear VR. To start the process, remove your mobile device and install the required applications on it. As I said, I kind of knew that was going to happen. So I will remove the device. And of course now it says welcome. And it says, you need to get started. So it says connecting to the server. It's doing a download, which is a 3 megabyte download that it's requesting right now. Okay. And a ton of stuff. I don't even know what I just agreed to. And it says, to use your Gear VR, you will need to download and install essential VR applications that may take several minutes depending on your network. Tap below to install Gear VR services, Gear VR Video, VR Gallery, FB Installer, App Manager, Oculus Home. So we're saying okay. It says it's going to be about 57 megabytes. Okay, so now that the software has loaded, which actually looks like it's able to multitask. So it's a multi-window piece. But in any event, okay, your Oculus account is downloaded for. Okay, so I have to create an Oculus account. I'll let it go through and do that. And it says you're all set. You can now log into your Oculus account. And I'm going to try and make my way back to the Oculus software. And it has now realized I'm all set. And now it says I want to install Oculus Cinema, which is their software that I'm going to use to be able to... it's supposed to be an immersive way of watching my own movies. I'm supposed to get the feeling that I'm in my own cinema. I'm interested in doing. Okay, now it says the VR you need to put in the software, but you need to put in their chip. So I have to go because I have my own SD card in, and from what I understand, it just needs to copy some things over. For whatever reason, they just didn't want to have you copy all that. So I'm going to go here and I'm going to say unmount SD card. Okay, so it's actually like 24 hours later. I'm going to spare you the me putting it on my head and turning my head back and forth and up and down while you watch me with my mouth gaping open. So obviously I got it up and running. I've been using it now for like 24, 48 hours. So now what I want to do is take the knowledge that I've gained from that point in time and to talk about what we got going on. All right, the first thing I want to talk about, which is going to come up for some of you and others it won't, and that has to do with overheating. The device itself will, it could possibly overheat. And the reason for that is that depending upon how your phone runs, some of you have very few apps, you're not running very intense apps, and your device is going to run cool, and it might get hot after a couple hours. If you're like me, I got a gazillion apps on here, I got a gazillion widgets, there's a lot of stuff going on, and I found I was overheating at about 20 minutes. I'm going to do a video on overheating and things that you can do. But I had to do things like go back to, I normally use a different launcher. I had to go back to the stock launcher so that I could keep the CPU threads down so that when it was in the device it wouldn't overheat. So I just want to bring that up. So if you do find that you keep getting, because it will give you a warning, first it'll say, hey, you really should turn this off, this isn't working out for you. And then finally it will say, dude, you're done. And it literally will say you must unplug it and let it cool down before you can use it again. So if you do that, you can email me or hopefully I'll get the video out soon, but you can email me. There's a couple of different things that you can do to help bring your CPUs. If your unit runs hot normally, then you're going to find that you overheat when you're using this. So I do want to bring that up. So if you have it's not a fault of this, that's the fault of, it's really pushing it to the max. It's really asking it to do a whole bunch. So if you're already at that threshold, and you get thermal runaway and there's some stuff going on, you're going to have a problem with that. All right, so enough about heat. Okay, next thing is that you can actually use your surround pictures, and view them in the device. So let's just first go over what a surround picture is. If you go into your camera and you go to mode, you will see one that says surround shot. How about that? Go into mode, you'll see one that says surround shot. When you do that, it will ask you to take a picture. And then after it has taken that initial picture where it figures out where the center of the room is, you basically are taking a bunch of other pictures. And that's what it will use to create a 360 photo. And you can then use that 360 photo in your unit. Now, a couple of quick things about doing these 360s. One is, and actually it shows you a little globe up top, and that's showing you where you have pictures, and where the blue ones are where you have pictures, and the gray is where you've missed them. So it's very easy to see which way you have to turn, and has the 4 arrows. So then you'll take it and you'll save that. So a couple of things that I was started to say. A couple of things is, the first is, you're going to have, in an outdoor scene, you're going to have a lot of different movement. So just wait to take the picture. So if somebody's passing in front of you, don't take that picture then. Just wait, leave it out of shot, wait from the pass, then go up and take your picture that way. Okay? If you don't do that, and you sort of keep taking your pictures, you're going to end up with these ghosts or half of people, because they're there in one shot, but they're not there in the next shot. Their feet are there, their arms aren't there. So just take a couple of minutes to do that. And then just one of my little pet peeves. It shows you, and you should obviously do all of them, but I found a great many people don't do the bottom because they don't want to get their feet in, and they don't do the very top. So you have these wonderful 360 views, and then you look down and they're standing in an abyss, so you look up and it's going to another galaxy. So just take a couple of seconds and do that. That's my pet peeve. Just do the whole thing. Don't just do all the other ones. Do the other ones, and then when it says point all the way down, do the one all the way down. And when it says point up, do the one that says all the way up. Okay? You'll see why that gets annoying. Once you start looking at some of these and you find a really great one and you look down, it just throws off the whole thing. Just do the whole piece. A lot of people are afraid of getting their feet. All you do is just step back, use that as the last shot, step back, and do the bottom, and your feet don't get in the shot. Okay? On the screen right now, you should be seeing the directory path that you need to use in order to save the 360 photo. So you'll have to move it from that directory path to there. Let me just kind of, we obviously won't be able to see it, but you just need to know the directory path. So basically what you're going to do, once you get your picture done, you can use even the My Files app. I have a better one, but it's all right. You can just use the My Files app. You're going to go to device storage. You're going to find your picture, which will be in the DCIM and in the camera, and it'll be whichever one it happens to be. Let's just go ahead and just take one just for the heck of it. And then we're going to say move. And at that point, you're going to go back to device storage. You're going to go to Oculus, and you're going to go to 360 photos, and then you can create a directory Whatever you call this directory is the name that it will show when it shows that strip of pictures in the Oculus 360 photo. So this one is mine. And you'll go in here and you'll hit move here, and once it's in there, you'll be able to see it. Okay. Now you can get some 360s if you don't want to take them yourself. There's a website called 360cities.net that has some really, really excellent ones. The only problem is that it's not a problem, but it is a paid service, so you need to spend some money if you want to get them. The other one that I use a lot is called sphereshare.net, and Sphereshare is just that. It is it's a application that lets you upload your 360 photos, or your sphere, because it used to be called Sphere Photo or whatever. But anyway, they let you upload them, but then you can see all the different ones from around the world or wherever they take it. But if you pay use the in-app purchase and buy the Pro version or the premium version, you can download them. So you just go ahead and you click on one. Here's a Japanese garden. And again, you can look at them without using the VR, but they will work in the VR, and they're a lot nicer when you're in the VR. Okay, so without the VR, we end up with our little piece here. Oh, they did do the bottom. Thank you, and they did do the top. Okay, so what I can do with this is go ahead and save it, and once you do the premium version, you'll get a little save button. It's went ahead and saved it, so it saved it to this path directory. I can then go and move it from that path directory into the 360 photos as I just did, and those photos will show up. Okay, so this is a nice one. So you can take them, share them with other individuals, and you can use this to download them. Okay, let's talk about 3D movies. Well, it will show 3D movies in 3D on your VR unit, and that's both the standard 3D and also what they call SBS, or side by side. And I was actually pretty amazed to find exactly how many are actually on YouTube. You can find them very, very easy. Just go in, search for 3D. If you have the newest version of the app, if you have the newest version of the YouTube app, there is a filter button when you're doing a search. So you can click on filter, and if you come down here where it says 3D, if you check that box, you'll get just the 3D images. Now, these side-by-side images are just as you see here. They're actually, I'm going to do a video on how you actually do this, but really you have two cameras and you tape them together and take a video, but in any event. So a side-by-side, if those of you who don't have a VR unit yet, if you really want to see what it looks like in 3D, you can actually put it in full screen, then take your face and put it about I'm serious, put your eyes about 1/4 of an inch away from the screen. Your eyes will start to cross, and just like those old puzzles where if you stare at it long enough, you see the picture of a ship or wherever, and you only get it because your eyes are crossing, and then your brain is really, really good and is able to decode the information. If you do this and take your eyes like this, you actually will see this in 3D. It will pop. It'll appear to pop out about a 1/2 inch. But again, you have to get your eyes very, very close, sort of kind of crosshair them, and then pull back, and you'll be able to see them. So in any event, there are a number of apps that allow you to download YouTube videos, so I'm not going to bother to go over those. But once you then download that, you can then move it into the path that you're now seeing on your screen, which is the Oculus My Video 3. Actually, let's just, I'm trying to do it by heart. I was assuming that I'm going to show it to you, but it's going to be, let's see. So device storage. So after you have your item, you're going to do a copy. You're going to go to device storage, Oculus. You're going to go to movies, and it has to be in a folder called 3D. So you go in that folder called 3D, and you drop your videos in here, and it will decode. It will know that these are 3D videos, and it will do what it needs to do to show these videos correctly. And there's quite a lot of them out there. Got our 3D videos. Let's do a quick review of the applications that actually come with it. Okay, the first one is Darknet. Darknet is a puzzle game. You are supposed to be infiltrating a computer node by node. It's done by you going in and picking different tools and manipulating those pieces. Pretty good puzzle game. Liked it. Neat concept. ESPer Demo. That is the first level of a VR game called ESPer, and I loved that. It was only one level, but it was, I'm not going to give you any spoilers, but basically you are a test subject, and they're testing out different ESP techniques, and they really made use of the visor itself and how you interact with it, with some really good dialogue and an excellent setup, and I just enjoy it. It doesn't take that long to get through the first chapter, but I really enjoyed it. I really, really enjoyed it. Proton Pulse. Proton Pulse is a reimagining of the Pong game in which you're using your mind to control the paddle. Say mind, but obviously we're using the VR unit, so it's using tracking for it to figure out where I want to put the paddle, and then it's going back and forth. Simple concept, but they made use of their available the gear and the head tracking and everything. That was fun. That was an enjoyable game. Don't know that I'd play it over and over and over and over and over and over again, but if you do like action games, that was pretty good. The Romans versus the Martians. This was a very good game. This is a tower game, and it was fun because the graphics were very good, very simple to use, and it even has. I will give you one tip on this game. While you're playing it, if you take a look around, you will find a lever that says manual or automatic, and if you switch from manual to automatic, at that point, all you have to do is do your targeting with your head tilt, and it will fire for you automatically instead of you having to keep tapping. You know, the other way you have to keep tapping, but the other way, now you're just kind of just turning your head, and wherever you turn your head, that's where they fire. So that was actually very good. Titans of Space. I would have to say that between that and the ESPer, these are my two favorites thus far. The Titans of Space is a I'm not spoiling it for you, but basically the Titans of Space is you looking at all the planets in our solar system. And when I say that, it sounds pretty dull and boring. It sounds like, oh, we're going to the planetarium. How fun can that be? This is really good. If you can imagine that you are, if you Star Trek fans, if you're Q, or you're the Doctor traveling in the TARDIS, or if you, for those of you not familiar with all those, if you're just a space traveler, but essentially you do get the feeling that you are just floating out there in space, visiting these different planets, and it's giving you the information. I really enjoyed this. I actually ended up putting the unit on my mother, and she really enjoyed it as well. You fly from one planet to the other. It gives you information about the planets. But what makes it good is, again, you're not just staring at the planet. While they're explaining to me about Mars, I can turn around and see, where is Mercury in relationship to Mars. And the size is about right for each thing. So you do get the feeling, you look at this and you say, wow, I didn't realize that Jupiter was that big as compared to Earth. And wow, look at the sun. I mean, you keep turning around to see the sun, which is obviously absolutely huge, and you keep feeling like, oh, this thing's just going to burn me up. I can't believe this is so big. How can little Mercury be that close to this thing and not just burst into flames? So this is really, really fun, and this is one of those ones that you want to try. Viral is a nice little action game. Viral, where I think they're robots that we're going against, and there's these little tiny robots, so we're flying around in this structure or universe, whatever you want to call it, and there are little robots, and we're taking those robots on using our tap procedure or the gamepad to fire projectiles at them, and it's pretty good. It's almost, I want to say, like a Tron kind of game. If you remember Discs of Tron, where you're kind of throwing the discs back and forth and you're trying not to get hit. I really like that. I thought that was a fun one too. That's one that I would play over and over again. So to summarize, do you need to go out and get this? Should you get this? If you already have a Samsung Galaxy Note 4 and you like to have the latest technology and you want to impress your friends and have that little wow factor, then yes, you need one of these. The looks in your friends' faces when they first try this on is amazing. If you want to play around with the different technologies and see what's going to come out with this, then this is what you want to do. Because if you think about it, you already have the Note 4. $200 more ain't that much at this point. If you travel a lot and you want to use this when you're on a plane and really enjoy a movie while you're flying, that's fine too. That's what you want to do. If you don't have any of this stuff, do you need to go out and do that? I would say right now, no. But again, they've already said that. This is not the latest game device, the latest this is the innovator. This is the early adopter model. This is for people who want to go and try it out and then try to do things to do that. And they're hoping that'll get the ball rolling. This is like the first Note, where they're trying some things out and it'll get better, and there'll be a Gear 2 and a Gear 3 and a Gear 4, and each one will get get better and better, and they'll have more features. But if you already have the Note 4, then yeah, and like I said, and you want to play around with some different things, that's fine. But it is limited right now. There's just a few apps. There's the ability to watch movies, and there's a couple other things. Some people, I have a friend of mine that says that he would rather watch movies with this instead of watching it on his television set. He already has the thing. So he says, I'm going to go and get one just so I can just watch the movies. I think that's really nice. I can just put this on my head, watch movies, enjoy myself, relax, and do it. That's fine. So bottom line, if you're an innovator, early adopter, and you have the Note 4, this is what you want to go and get. If you don't have any of this stuff, then it's not worth going through, in my opinion, to get all this stuff just so you can do a couple of different pieces. I'm saying again, it's 4 o'clock in the morning. I'm just 4:30 in the morning. I'm just finishing up this video, and I will just pop this on my head, just watch 1 or 2 videos rather than watch them on my phone. I'll watch it in my own private cinema using my Gear VR. This is the High Tech Nomad signing off.